We have a mystery on our hands this week. The scholars in this room are the crew members of this mighty ship, the Envisioneer. While in search of an ancient treasure, we were marooned on an island, and a key part of our navigational went missing. Of the entire crew, we considered 4 suspects. Today you will hear the evidence collected against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff.
Splints can be very useful if applied correctly, but if applied incorrectly or not at all, the injury can get worse. Different splints work in different ways. For instance, ankle splints must be applied on the injured limb, or else it will be destroyed while transferring it. There is no possible way to transfer it without destroying the splint in the process. So, I am going to be practicing some splints on my friend here.
Hi.
So, here is the splint and here's the gauze. We are going to be taking the splint. I'm going to be practicing an arm splint first. So, yeah. There are different types of arm splints. I will not be trying to use the sugar tong splint. I will be using, I think it's called the strong arm splint. You wrap it around the person's arm. And then it has to be kind of tight and long, very, very long. Oh no. That is what you should not do. Okay, I need you to stick your arm out. Kind of a little bit straighter, perfect. Just so I can put it further away from your elbow. If you put it too close to the elbow, it can make the...
Can I hold this, please?
Wait, do I need to get to
If it is too close to the elbow, then it will prevent the elbow from being able to move like it normally should. So you put it right below the joint, and then once it's all wrapped, you take the gauze and wrap one layer first. If you still have more gauze, then keep wrapping until the roll is finished, because it needs to be tight enough that it won't fall off. Sometimes splints can be very difficult to apply. The harder ones are the neck splints and the ankle splints. But, and so if you're gonna start practicing using a splint, do the arm one first. This one I didn't wrap tight enough for the splint part, but that's okay because because if you can, I think you can do this. It'll make it tighter so that it won't come off, and it'll keep the bone.
In our captain's log, we had to build embots to explore the island that we were on during a storm. We used our engineering design process to understand why we needed our embots and why we needed and the best way to build it. We started off with empathize. What problem are you trying to solve? We were thinking about what problem we were solving and came to the conclusion that we are trying to solve how we can explore the whole island without having to go anywhere because of the storm. And then we went to define. How would you describe the problem? We described it as sort of challenging, but it would be possible. IDs. How many solutions can you think of? We thought of drone and we thought of MBOTs. We came to the conclusion of choosing MBOTs. Prototype. How can you build a model of the best idea for a solution? We built the MBOTs and then we programmed them to be able to do anything that we wanted them to do. And then last but not least, we went to test. Is your design the best solution to the problem? We thought of many solutions, as I said there, and we thought that this one would be easier because drones, if there was a storm, they would possibly break and fall down to the ground. But MBOTs, there are big trees and a bunch of plants, so that would block the MBOTs from the storm.
I am presenting the triangle bridge. A triangle bridge is a very strong structural bridge. The triangles help spread the weight so no too much pressure is in one spot. When weight is applied to one side of the triangle, the other side distribute that weight so no too much pressure is put on one side. The triangle bridge helped the engineers get across a flooded river to get the food. There's a lot of things you can do with your MBOT. You can even program it. You can make them do stuff like go forward, backwards, and sideways. You can program them to make music notes and change their lights. They can also sense anything that gets in their path.
The design of the MBOT is very interesting. You get to step by step build it. This is what your MBOT will look like once you finish building it. Our class decided to make names for our robots. There's MJ, Jeff, BC, and Michelle.
The MBOT was coded for the examination of the island because the storm had hit and the captain could not get the island. After they searched the island, the MBOTs got stuck and we had to build a bridge for them. That's it.
I'm going to talk about my problem and solution. My motherboard was backwards, so my MBOT went backwards too. But then my friend then helped me fix it, which also explains why teamwork is the true dream work.
As Young got kidnapped by Neff, we had to study what type of snake it was that bit her, as well as the heart. Neurotoxic venom affects the nerves, which could go into shock after being bitten. Homotoxic affects the blood. This could cause blood clots and heart problems without antivenom. The heart is a muscle that pulses through the body. Hemotoxic venom goes to the heart and back out to the aorta. Young got bitten on the ankle, and as the venom went up to the body, it started to spread. And here I have a snake coming to bite my leg, like so. Like that. And as the toxic blood goes to the heart, it starts to go through pain, redness, and swelling. And as it enters through the vena cava, putting the body into shock.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence provided to me has had people say that Dr. Smart has been dripping, it was Dr. Smart's blood that was on the grounds in the captain's cabin, but they were wrong. In fact, it was Robert Neff bending down, yet Robert Neff had a gash in his head, and while he was bending down to grab the map piece, he started dripping blood. He never noticed because he was trying to work quickly and quietly. So when he grabbed the map piece, he ran and didn't notice that there was still blood on the ground. Then we analyzed it, and everybody said it's either Dr. Smart or one of the crewmates had a gash on below their knee. So when they tried to frame him, he said he got it from helping Dr. Smart. And Dr. Smart's stethoscope was found in the cabin. But when he went in there, he didn't have that cut. He had a bandage around his hand, which meant that it had to be Robert Neff. So
We will be doing the experiment of trying to find out what the mystery white powder is.
First, we got all the substances, which are powdered white sugar, baking soda, cornstarch, and the mystery powder. What we are doing in this experiment is trying to figure out what the mystery powder is.
Next, we tested all the substances with vinegar and iodine to see their reaction. The reaction with vinegar to powdered sugar was it dissolves and turns purple. The cornstarch turns creamy and purple. Baking soda bubbles up, or elephant toothpaste, and the mystery powder turned hard.
Now we have to find out what the mystery powder was. So we tested cornstarch and found it out that cornstarch was the closest to the mystery powder. So the mystery powder was cornstarch.
We are going to tell you about the fingerprinting that we did for CSI. If you want to do this at home, listen up.
First, hit a clear cup with fingerprints on it. How to do that is to put glue on your finger and stick your fingerprint on the cup. Then get cocoa powder and put it in a cup or bowl, your choice. Remember to be really careful with the cocoa powder. I have a lot of experience of spilling it, dropping it, and all that stuff. Sprinkle the powder on the fingerprints and dust it off with a makeup brush. After that, get some tape and put it on the cup with the fingerprints for about 15 seconds, and then place the tape on a piece of white paper.
We did this experience to find out who was the criminal in the story, which was Dr. Smart. We proved that it was him because the fingerprint matches perfectly.
Thank you for listening.
Based on the evidence our STEM group has submitted, we believe that Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff are guilty of stealing the ancient map.